welcome back to Harry Has a Cocktail, episode 56. Today's episode, the paper plane. And I don't know if you noticed, but here on the paper plane, there's a little HHAC for Harry Has a Cocktail. This will come into play a little bit later. For now, let me give you some Boozy Lore. Boozy Lore! The paper plane was created in 2008 by award-winning bartender Sam Ross, who is the co-owner of the Attaboy bar here in New York City. He originally created it for the Violet Hour in Chicago, Illinois. The paper plane is actually a modern variation on a drink called The Last Word, which is a cocktail that I seem to be mentioning in almost every episode I do. The Last Word is one of my favorite cocktails, and The Last Word and the paper plane are from a family of cocktails where the ingredients of the cocktail are in 4 equal parts. 4. This has been Boozy Lore. Boozy Lore! This drink is also going to contain and continue something that I've been doing in the last few episodes, where I have been presenting drinks that contain Italian ingredients. Let's go ahead and see what goes into a paper plane. First, we have bourbon. Evan Williams is... how shall I put this? Let's just say it's cost effective, shall we? Next, we have Aperol. Now, Aperol is from the sort of a family of bitters. I would say it's a bitter sort of in the same way that Campari is a bitter. This isn't necessarily something that you would drink on the rocks, although I think probably Italians do. They more likely drink it in a very trendy drink called the Aperol Spritz. If you go to Italy, there's no way you can't have an Aperol Spritz because everyone is drinking them. They're quite delicious and refreshing. This basically has an overwhelming, you might be able to guess from the color of the liqueur, that it is an orangey flavor. Next is Averna. Makes another appearance here on the program. I used Averna in the last episode, which was the Manhattan Nero, and I'm using it again here. This is an Amaro that is made in Sicilia. And finally, the last ingredient is fresh lemon juice. All right, let's get right to it, shall we? Here is how you make a paper plane. First, fill your cocktail shaker with a crap ton of ice. And as I said earlier, this cocktail is made in 4 equal parts. They all have 3/4 parts each. 3/4 of an ounce of bourbon.
3/4.
3/4 of an ounce of Aperol.
3/4.
3/4 of an ounce of Averna.
3/4.
And you guessed it, because I already told you, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice.
3/4.
Now shake the crap out of it till it's ice cold. About 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, now strain it into a chilled coupe glass. Oh, it's so chilly. And now we're going to garnish it with a paper airplane. Now, I haven't done this. I haven't experimented with this. I think maybe this pick might be slightly too big and wide, but I'm gonna just try it anyway. What does it matter? I'm gonna stick it through. Here we go.
Well, that's kind of cute, isn't it?
Let's try the paper plane. Oh, that's interesting. This is good. Now, full disclosure, this drink, when it was originally made by Sam Ross, the co-owner of Attaboy here in New York City, he made this with Nonino Amaro, a different brand. And I was reading around, and because I wanted to use Averna again, I could have used Nonino, but I would have had to go out and buy it. And I have a ton of Averna. So I went ahead and used the Averna, and I've actually read liquor.com, and there were a lot of comments there where a lot of people, depending on what Amaro they have around, that's what they use. Montenegro, Chinar, and then here I am using the Averna. And I gotta say, this is a really fine, wonderful, kind of complex drink. It's kind of this perfect balance of sweet, sour, and bitter. There's a little bit of everything in here. You're definitely getting the orange from the Aperol. I'm definitely tasting scotch. I'm definitely getting lemon juice. And the Averna, I usually talk about how Averna has a bit of a chocolatey feel to it. It really works with the orange. If you like a chocolate covered orange, because I know that's a thing that some people actually don't go for. But lots of people go for that mix of chocolate and orange. Gotta say, this is quite delightful. I could see drinking this in the spring, summer, winter, and fall. There you have it, the Paper Plane. Thanks as always for watching Harry Has a Cocktail, and we'll see you back here next time. Cheers!